then I will deploy the United States military and quickly solve the problem for them. I am also taking swift and decisive action to protect our great capital, Washington, D.C. What happened in this city last night was a total disgrace. As we speak, I am dispatching thousands and thousands of heavily armed soldiers, military personnel, and law enforcement officers to stop the rioting, looting, vandalism, assaults, and the wanton destruction of property. We are putting everybody on warning. Our 7 o'clock curfew will be strictly enforced. Those who threaten innocent life and property will be arrested, detained, and prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. I want the organizers of this terror to be on notice that you will face severe criminal penalties and lengthy sentences in jail. This includes Antifa and others who are leading instigators of this violence. One law and order, and that is what it is. One law. We have one beautiful law. And once that is restored and fully restored, we will help you, we will help your business, and we will help your family. America is founded upon the rule of law. It is the foundation of our prosperity, our freedom, and our very way of life. But where there is no law, there is no opportunity. Where there is no justice, there is no liberty. Where there is no safety, there is no future. We must never give in to anger or hatred. If malice or violence reigns, then none of us is free. I take these actions today with firm resolve and with a true and passionate love for our country. By far, our greatest days lie ahead. Thank you very much. And now I'm going to pay my respects to a very, very special place. Thank you very much.
All right, so there's the president.
You just saw it, ladies and gentlemen. President of the United States stepped out to the Rose Garden and spoke about uniformed Secret Service officials were shooting tear gas and physically assaulting peaceful protesters right outside of the White House. He's taking people's right to peacefully protest what's going on in this country, ladies and gentlemen.
Military personnel, military police, uniformed Secret Service police, mounted police went in.
You could see the protesters. They have their hands up. They're saying, don't shoot, don't shoot. Yet these Secret Service officers pushed them with shields. They were shooting tear gas at them. You saw protesters pouring water on their eyes because they were suffering from the symptoms of tear gas.
Once again, as he has for the past several days, he blamed a far-left group, Antifa, for this. They will lose. We will win. He said, this is our mission. We will succeed.
He's talking about that these are riots and lawlessness. There was no riots. There's not a riot or any form of lawlessness going on right in front of the White House. Yet he or his administration, they ordered all of these officers to go ahead and assault these people. They were assaulting camera crews. They were trying to get everybody away from the White House as quickly as possible. Is this America? I don't know. I don't know anymore. This could potentially be the worst riot protesting crisis ever known to man, because it's the perfect storm for it. There's tens of millions of people out of work. People are not going to school. They have nowhere to get to tomorrow. They're just out protesting and speaking against the lawlessness that this police department executed when they executed George Floyd. Excuse me.
Because they wanted to create this moment for the cameras. So that when the
incredible. Absolutely incredible. It's unbelievable what you've just witnessed, ladies and gentlemen. This is happening live right now in our nation's capital.
Chaos in the streets of America. This was a made-for-television moment. And what I wanted to say after that, which
Don Lemon, he's saying that it was a made for television, so he's doing it because of publicity. I mean, it's just one source of news. Nonetheless, it looks real bad, man. I mean, you could have made those remarks inside the White House. Why you have to go outside of the White House? Because I understand. Once you go outside of the White House, then I guess he has some sort of justification according to the administration. Oh, he has to get all of these people back because they may be in range where they could shoot or pose some type of danger to the President of the United States. But you're going to physically assault people that are peacefully protesting? There was no looters in that crowd. There was nobody beating anybody down in that crowd. That's what it is. That's what it is. I'm waiting for this dude to just call martial law because it's crazy. Why are you going to assault people that are clearly being peaceful, that are just saying things? They're not throwing anything at anybody. Then you start shooting tear gas at people for no reason whatsoever.
He is doing the exact opposite of what he said.
He could have made those remarks from inside the White House. Any remark that he had to say. And he doesn't even say anything to calm anybody. He's just basically, while he's having his crew of Secret Service officials attack peaceful protesters, he's talking about riots and lawlessness. So he's talking about their holding riots and they're being lawless. So in other words, he's trying to strip people of their rights to protest. Is this a democracy? Come on, ladies and gentlemen. It's absolutely crazy.
People are upset and they're angry. These people,
and at the same time, they keep lollygagging and stalling for more stimulus, for more money for you. Did they get into all this deliberation when they had to bail out big banks and big corporations? Never that. Never that. Now they're talking about they're not even going to move on anything for another month. While they start teasing little reports that, yeah, I'm going to tell CNBC exclusively that we're going to release a second round of stimulus checks because that's what I want. Always trying to gravitate and trying to leverage the best opportunity to make himself look good. Now, I don't take any sides because everyone's at fault. Not only everyone from the Republican side, but also from the Democrat side. They're all lollygagging. They're all in this together to stall and to keep you needing things, to keep you wanting.
He said, and he called what he called.
It's absolutely terrible. I don't even know what to say anymore, man. Is this America? I don't know. And I don't know where they plan to take it because they don't pass another round of stimulus checks. People are just going to have more time to go ahead and keep protesting, keep rioting. St. Louis Fed in March estimated that unemployment would go up to 30%. I believe I see that forecast coming to fruition right now because people have nothing else to do but to riot and to protest against the injustice that happened in Minneapolis. They better start prosecuting all of those officers involved, all of those officers that decided to ignore the cries of an innocent person getting choked to death. They just released an independent autopsy that found that indeed this man died because of asphyxiation, because he didn't die because of any natural causes. It was a homicide. It was an unnatural death. He was not supposed to die. So while he died crying for his mother and calling for family members, there were two bystanders there. Police officers are supposed to enforce the law. In the military, you do not follow an order if it's illegal. So if you see something illegal happening, you're supposed to stop it being a law enforcement officer. Nonetheless, they did not do it.
Right over there on 16th Street.
Trump invokes 1807 law to deploy military amid protests. Martial law, ladies and gentlemen.
There was a fire that was unloaded.
This is the country in which we're living in right now. This is the country in which we're living in. And it's easy for me to say, you know what? Vote these people out. And not only him, but politicians on both sides of the aisle. Because they're both making moves in order to stall everything, all kinds of assistance that they should be providing for the American people now.
What the Insurrection Act of 1807 says, because this is what the president...
It's the Insurrection Act of 1807, according to CNN.
Of military troops here domestically in the United States. I'll read the act. The Insurrection Act of 1807.
Deploying military and protests.
That governs the ability of the President of the United States to deploy military troops within the United States to suppress civil disorder, insurrection, and rebellion. So that's
insurrection and rebellion. Insurrection and rebellion. Invoking something against insurrection and rebellion, while he's stripping people of the right to peacefully protest in front of the White House. That's what you have tonight, ladies and gentlemen, here in the United States of America.
Which authorizes the use of military forces to quell
It's bonkers.
However, this appears to have been a use of military forces and these other protective services to clear out the area for a photo opportunity.
Yeah, law, there is no, they're talking about lawlessness. Haley Burgess, they're talking about that people are being lawless because they're protesting against everything that's happening in this country. Can you believe it? Let me know. Let me know in the comments what you think of what's going on right now.
Extraordinary use of manpower for a photo opportunity, Wolf, because keep in mind,
Absolutely.
we've all been seeing over the last couple of days, these
And thank you for watching and ensuring that we stay on top of this level of lawlessness. Because it's not the peaceful protesters that were being lawless. It's the President of the United States, his administration, anyone else who stands by and says nothing about this. Because where's Biden at? What's he talking about? He should be right now on blast, speaking against everything that's happening right here, if he's not part of it. I'm calling, listen, and politicians on both sides of the aisle are at fault that this is happening right here. Because perhaps if they would have moved on additional stimulus for Americans, perhaps it would have given them something to be satisfied about and move quicker on ensuring that that police officer or that person that perpetrated that's basically trying to imitate a law enforcement official, that someone that actually enforces the law, because he's not enforcing any type of law. All he's enforcing is murder. That they would have brought him to justice right away, and the people who were bystanders.
Good evening, I'm Aaron Burnett. This is the breaking news coverage continuing as you see. Violence rocking Washington.
Just lower the volume here. Imagine if you stood by while you witnessed the murder. What would happen to you? And you see your friends doing it. There's something that you could do about it. And you're properly equipped to do something about it. Such as these law enforcement officers that were right next to that officer that killed that young man the other day. What would happen to you? People get conspiracy charges and locked up for doing less. And they're not doing anything about this. And it's absolutely ridiculous that they had to assault these people. Absolutely ridiculous. I'm not sure whether you saw all of the images, but they were pushing men, they were pushing women with their shields. They were throwing tear gas at them. Now he's going to deploy the military. He had an extraordinary military presence established right on Lafayette Street in front of the White House, trying to scare people. What's he trying to do? What are they trying to do? Why doesn't the Senate speak against this? Why doesn't people in the House of Representatives speak it? It's absolutely ridiculous they're treating people like this. And at the same time, they don't want people to be violent. And they're being violent. They're deploying the greatest military on this planet on their own people, ladies and gentlemen. How does that look? Anyway, let me know what you think. Leave it in the comments section below. My phone is about to run out of battery. I'll go ahead and keep reporting on what keeps going on. Talk to you in a minute. May God bless the United States of America, each and every one of you who live in it, first and foremost, and everybody on this planet. But we can't let this go down, ladies and gentlemen. If you got to do it on the voting booth, anywhere that you can do it, without having to hurt other people, following God's second commandment, love your neighbor. Love your neighbor. I thank you for watching. Talk in a minute.